Yes, we do get excited when you tag us. Like when you shared my story today, I was like, oh my God.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't hear myself on the microphone, though. My mic's not on.
Actually,
Hello.
I just saw your post like right
Hello.
before right now.
And I saw your fire. I was like, oh my God, look.
Hello. No. My
Really?
mic's not
I
on.
hear you.
You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe my headphones aren't on. Because I actually don't hear Natalie either. I see Von Lewis, though, chilling up there.
Oh, I thought it was on the live Instagram for some reason.
It is. Well, it will be on live
okay.
Instagram.
It's on
as well.
Zoom too?
Yeah, Zoom.
Sweet.
The link is in the bio. Guys, the link is in the bio in our link tree, right? Joel. What's going on, my man?
Joel.
Did you get a haircut?
Yeah, looks good.
It's looking fresh, bro.
Looking good.
Oh.
Chad and Amy.
Nice. Got the
Look-
stash going on.
Look at Chuck Zambo. He's Beavis and Butthead today.
I still don't hear myself.
I feel like I'm in a
Charlie, I
meeting
see you,
at work.
Charlie.
It's no good not being able to hear yourself in your headphones. Like why wear them if you can't hear yourself?
I mean, take it as a blessing because how many times do you hear yourself all the time, you know?
I don't know. I just like it. Shane is not getting tacos. I feel like I'm starting to hear myself. Shane's not getting tacos.
Shane's not coming today.
Shane's not coming. Well, he said he was going to check in from the house.
Oh my God, how cute. The Nem House is watching us.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to the Nem House.
Yeah, Shane had a little something that you guys will all find out if you log on to Patreon. Anyways.
He got snipped.
Yeah. Natalie
Oh my
just gave it
God.
away. Snipped.
Snipped.
Guys, welcome to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting.
Mm-hmm.
See a lot of people starting to join.
Yeah.
I'm over here like half live on Instagram. I'll put it on Natalie. Maybe people will come if it's on Natalie.
Oh, thanks. No pressure.
So, with no further ado, let's get this party started.
Let's get this party started. Are we gonna say, you know, why this exists, or are you throwing it to me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Since Shane's not here.
Okay. For everybody that obviously, you know, tunes in every single week, you kind of know the spiel. But for everybody that is new, the reason why the Hopeaholics exists, as well as the Recover Out Loud kind of movement that we're all a part of, is because on 9/11 of 2022, Chad's son-in-law Justin died from fentanyl poisoning. So it was heavy on his heart to do something about that and be the voice for the voiceless and start a movement, because secrets keep us sick and people don't know what's there's a stigma around the disease, but also the fentanyl crisis is on and alive and well, and there's people that are addicts and non-addicts that are dying left and right. And so if you're not talking about it, then people don't know about it. And so that's why we are here, that's why we exist, and it really has created just kind of this fire and passion amongst all of us that are in this office and do what we do, because we need one another to battle this disease. It's trying to take us out every single day. So if we're not, you know, joining this together and walking it daily, then we're not living how we're supposed to be living. So that's kind of in a nutshell of why this podcast even got created, and then why the Recover Out Loud movement has really kind of taken a mind and a kind of force of its own, is because we're savages if we're willing to be.
Right.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. Actually, really, really good.
Thank you. They were talking shit, trying to tell me that how it wasn't very good the other time because Shane is better. Guys, Shane ain't better.
No, he's not better. Nobody ever said that. That's never. Maybe Chuck Zamzow. That's about
Maybe
it.
Chuck did. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. The other thing is, guys, we do have a substitute teacher in today.
Oh, yes.
Because our two normal people, Lewis is out on vacation. And Emily, if you guys can just throw out a bunch of prayers for her and her family. She has a very sick relative, and she needs lots of prayers.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been out for a bit here.
Mm-hmm.
So send her lots and lots of prayers. So bear with us if Chuck's
Messes up.
Chuck's the guy that built the studio. he put it all together. He can run the show, but
Oh my God, look at
he doesn't.
Joel. He says that you can always, like, when we're in a pinch, we could always do a co-host. But the problem with that is I don't even know if me, Shane, or Chad know how to make you a co-host if we don't have.
Oh, we should do
know?
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. So that way, I mean, Chuck came through.
You did take over and run a whole meeting for us
that one time.
that one time, which was amazing. So thank you, Joel, and thank you, Chuck, for stepping in at last notice too, because we realized at like 11 o'clock today that we had nobody to run our meeting. But you know, we always put God in charge, and at worst, we would have all logged in on our iPhones and made it happen.
Made it happen. Always.
All right.
Shall we get into it?
Yeah. You want to go ahead and introduce our guest tonight?
You're so crazy. He does this all the time. It's only because so they already know the story. Shane, what's the sound? What's the
girl's name?
No. What's the sound or the name that he chose?
For the girl.
For the one that he didn't know.
I can't remember.
No, it's amazing. Remember he called it
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just cannot remember the actual name.
What?
And I'm drawing a blank on your name.
Christina.
Christina.
It's okay. I know you guys have a lot of
No. It's I want to know Grand Marcel.
That's it.
What was it?
Tonight's guest is Ren Marcel.
That's what he did one night because he didn't remember the guest's name. So it's
all right.
It's like a funny.
I'm pretty bad with names too, but
well, Shane's the one that like gets everything dialed in for us.
For sure.
And communicates with the guests on Tuesday nights to make it all happen.
Did he communicate with you, by the way?
Fausto actually reached out and asked me, and then I touched base with Shane this morning.
Oh, you did?
Perfect.
Did you hear from him?
Did you hear back from him? Because he did have surgery this morning. That's why he's not here.
Yeah, he did. He did answer me.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Thank God.
He's alive.
Yeah.
Is Shane on the meeting? Because he said he was going to be here.
It's a big meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Getting there. With no further ado, Christina. You'll have 20 minutes, so
Okay.
experience, strength, and hope. When you get close, there's a timer up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets to the end, though, you will hear a ding in your earphones.
All right.
You're up.
I'm up.
Yep.
You are up.
All right, cool. Well, hi everyone. I'm Christina. I'm nervous like always. I've been asked to lead meetings and speak on podcasts so many times at this point, and I always get nervous. It's like that just self-doubt that I grew up with, you know? But I'm really happy to be here today. Like, being on the Hopeaholics was...
You're good. This ain't your first rodeo.
I know. I don't know why I get like this. I'm so stupid. Like,
It's just
I do
because
it
the
to
spotlight's
myself.
on you. That's all. It's like, take a breath. God got you.
Okay, so anyways, I'm happy to be here. I'm 35 years old. I will have 4 years clean on August 19th of this year.
Amazing.
I was on MAT for a long part of that, but I'll get to that. I do want to touch a little bit on my past just because I feel like it's necessary. I grew up in San Diego in a great family. I have one older sister. My parents are still together. Grew up in the early 2000s. I played a lot of sports, like every sport under the sun. And I started developing body dysmorphia and like really deep body insecurities from as young as like 7, 8, 9 years old. And I would eat food, like sneak food, and my parents would make comments like, "Oh, are you gonna?" Or like my dad would be like, "Are you gonna eat that again? Are you gonna have seconds? Like, are you eating again?" And I don't know. Those just like stuck with me. And so, growing up in San Diego in Southern California, like in the early 2000s, where you just didn't see any like bigger girls, like really just fucked with my head. And I can recall just being so ungodly uncomfortable in my own skin. And I literally would have done anything to be skinny. That was like my life's purpose, was to be skinny. And looking back, I had depression and anxiety as a kid, but like I didn't know what it was. And so I turned to food and tried to starve myself, couldn't do that. But by the time I'm 13, 14, I'm drinking a lot. And then by the time I'm 15, my friend gave me Adderall. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is like magical diet pill. And that quickly turned into like smoking meth. And so I'm 16 years old, like smoking meth, like going to volleyball practice. And I went to my first rehab when I was 16. My parents pulled me out of my junior year, and I went for 30 days. Had my 16th birthday in there. And then I got out, and like that was when I was first introduced to like 12-step or AA, you know? But barely graduated high school. Like I passed everything, but I ended up doing like the troubled kid, the school for troubled kids, my senior year. Because I couldn't stay sober. Like I was a poly substance user, just drinking and smoking meth. And so anyways, my mom like helped me apply to colleges, and I got a good enough GPA that I could get in. So I moved to Cal State Long Beach when I'm 18, and I live in the dorms, fail all my classes the first semester. Go into the second semester, I think I get a couple B's and like a couple F's. And at this point, I was like really trying not to do meth. I was just drinking excessively and like smoking so much weed, and like I got really big. I got up to like 220 pounds. And I was working at Claim Jumper as a hostess. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yes, I totally remember Claim Jumpers. Their portions are freaking amazing.
Yeah.
That's where I went for F-it meals all the time.
Yeah.
I thought their food was really good too, but I got super fat, and like I went from like a size 10 to like a size 20 in like 6 months. So being in this bigger body, and I just didn't know, I didn't know how to like deal with anything other than like going to food or drugs and alcohol, you know? And I had a lot of like psychiatric like breakdowns where I would stay up for days and like be threatening to hurt myself. So my parents would have me like 5150. Like I probably was 5150 like 3 times before I graduated high school, you know? So drop out of Long Beach, and my parents decided like to put me in rehab again. And so I went to Serenity House in Escondido twice. And I also went to Whiteside Manor twice. This was in like 2009. And I call it the year of the rehabs because I literally like went, graduated, relapsed, went, graduated, relapsed. And so my parents found this program in Hawaii that was 3 years long called Habilitat, Behavior Modification Rehab, and like paid like a copay of like $5,000 to send me there. And they told me, you know, this is your last chance. Like, if you leave, we're not flying you home. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I get to this rehab, and it's behavior mod, and it's just like really intense. And I was there for like 3 months before I left. And then sure enough, my parents really wouldn't fly me home. So I was like stuck homeless out there. And I remember ending up at like a homeless shelter, like, and I was like alone for the first time in my life. I'm no money, no phone. Like, what am I going to do, you know? So I ended up putting myself in this other rehab on the west side of the island. It was like mostly locals, and it was like a normal 12-step rehab where you're like in residential and then you go to sober living. And I was clean for like 90 days. But I got a little car at this time, like a little $2,000 Nissan that I started driving. I was like working at Chili's. And I just started using again. And so it was in that time that I was like using IV meth and heroin. And I just remember living outside, and like my car was full of cockroaches, and it was like so full of shit that I like couldn't lay my seats down, so I would sleep on the sidewalk outside. You know what I mean? Like got jumped by dudes, like fucked up shit happened, like really traumatizing shit that looking back, like I brushed off like it was nothing. You know what I mean? I don't know why I'm so nervous. Like I'm good, but I don't know. It's just hard to talk about my past. And you know, I was very vulnerable living on the streets. At this point, I had made my way down to like Chinatown in Oahu, and I was living in my car. And I meet this guy who, you know, makes me fall in love with him, like love bombs me, and ends up like manipulating me and using those feelings against me to sell my body for him. You know? And so I didn't realize that I was like being sex trafficked. I just thought I was in like a really fucked up relationship, and I just remember feeling very conflicted, and like I hated it so much, but like I wanted him. He's like, if you don't, like, you know what I mean? So anyways, that was like, God, 13 years ago already, but I'm still only now like dealing with it. Obviously, I'm having like a physical reaction talking about it. Just because a lot of like bad things happen. Like basically every bad thing you can imagine that happens to those girls happened to me, other than like getting killed. I'll just leave it at that. But he ends up using me and discarding me like trash, and left me on the street where he found me a year and a half later, basically. Except I was way off, way worse. And that right there caused like, I just learned this honestly, like a couple months ago, that I suffer from abandonment wounds. I always thought that was something that happened like if your parents leave you. Jesus. So, you know, we still feel these things today in sobriety, and we have to learn how to cope with it. So I'm soothing myself right now, and anyways, so I need to get on with my story. So I was trafficked for like a year and a half, and then I went to dealing. I was in Hawaii for a total of 10 years. My drug use was so bad that I was shooting up in my legs, my toes, my fingers, my forehead, my neck. Like at the end, I would just go in my neck and my femoral vein, or I would muscle it. And like I still have like a really fucked up upper arm, like. But anyway, so the needle use is what almost killed me. I ended up in a coma with endocarditis and sepsis from like shooting old blood and using other people's needles and like nasty shit like that. The doctor called my parents and like told them to come out and make arrangements because I was in the ICU. Like everything in my body was infected with sepsis. So I ended up waking up and my parents are there. You know, my parents are both like handicapped, and they flew all the way to Hawaii because they thought I was going to die. And what's fucked up is once they knew I was going to be okay, they came back to San Diego and they brought my dog, and they were like, you're going to follow when you're feeling better. But instead, I ended up leaving the hospital, like AMA, in my hospital gown to go keep getting loaded. And the doctor told me many times, like, if you keep using, you're going to die, you know? But anyways, it took 4 ICU trips over a period of 8 months before I finally got better. I was like walking hunched over for a long time. I had an infection in my back called osteomyelitis, which is like sepsis in your bone. So it's really hard to treat. And anyways, so that was in 2016. I used for 4 more years.
Oh my God.
It got really bad. Like my legs started swelling up. I was getting like congestive heart failure. And the doctor was like, your health is like so fucked. My legs were like hella swollen. I was super fat. I was a picker, so I had sores all over my face. Like my teeth were fucked up. Like I was shot to shit. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit. But anyways, so I had a really traumatic abortion in 2020. I didn't know that I was pregnant just because I didn't get a period. And so I was already like 16 weeks along when I did it. And that was traumatizing too. And like in this 10 years that I'm out there, like so much fucked up shit happened. Like, you know what I mean? Just like so many traumatic things, like back to back to back to back. And I just was so good at like disassociating and didn't really cry or like face any of those emotions. And so like it's years later, but like they're finally hitting me, you know, and it's fucking crazy. But in 2020, I make it back. I'm shot to shit. I'm severely hooked on heroin and fentanyl. So my parents, you know, let me move back in. I got on methadone. And I was like up on a pretty high dose, and I was clean for like 6 months. I got 10 left. Okay. So I didn't go to residential when I came back. I think that was my mistake. It was COVID, so I was like doing outpatient on Zoom and like taking methadone. And I would go to meetings and stuff, and I remember that was when I encountered like people being rude about MAT. Like if I told people at meetings that I was on methadone, they'd be like, "Oh, well, you can't really take this 30-day token." I remember being like, "Fuck you, bitch! I'm gonna take this token," you know. And that's a huge part of my story is like being on MAT and also trying to find my place in like the 12-step community, because I love the steps. I love meetings. I love having a sponsor. I love the whole camaraderie of it, but I hate that like they're so judgmental, you know, like everyone's recovery looks different. But anyways, I had a really bad relapse in 2021. It lasted a month, but I lost everything really quick. Ended up in the psych ward for 5 days, and then I went to a crisis house for 3 weeks. And my parents were like, you can't come back. And I was like 32 at the time. And so I put myself back at Serenity House, which is the rehab that I was at before I left for Hawaii. And that was like, I remember this vividly. That was when I had like my first biggest spiritual awakening of my life. I was standing on the second balcony of the program, looking out over the parking lot. And I was like, damn, I can't believe I'm back here. And I'm like, but it's been a whole decade. I went halfway around the Pacific Ocean and back. And I'm back in the same fucking rehab, except I'm way worse now. Like, I have Hep C, and I'm shot to shit. My teeth are fucked. Like, and so I was like, fuck, I need to do this. And so I made a commitment to myself at that point that I was going to try my hardest. I was still on methadone. I just started like a really slow taper. I was on 170 milligrams at one point. You know, like in the beginning I kept thinking like eventually it would like get me high, but it didn't. And so I just started slowly tapering. Every week I would go down like 2 milligrams, 3 milligrams. It took me like 2.5 years to get all the way down to 14. And it was like getting hard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was last year in February when I hit 14 milligrams. And I knew that I wanted to get the Sublocade shot, which is like this shot form of Suboxone. And so I used that at the end. I made the switch to Sublocade, and I got like 4 shots. I got 2 300 milligram shots and 2 100 milligram shots. And I'm going on almost a year with nothing. Like my last shot was in July of last year.
Oh my God, good for you.
You know, like, and I didn't really ever feel a point where I was like, fuck, I'm going through withdrawals, you know? Like, so if you are on methadone and you're trying to come off, like, Sublocade is a really wonderful tool because it stops you from taking something every day, and it dissolves so slowly, you know, because that's what we're all scared of is withdrawals. So, but anyways, what does my life look like today? Because I've been through some fucked up shit, and clearly am still struggling with it, you know, but like I'm in therapy. I do EMDR with my therapist, which is like specialized trauma therapy. And we've just barely like cracked the surface. Like she's really going slow with me, and I like that. But, you know, anyway, so I've also lost a bunch of weight. I've lost like 90 pounds now at this point. I go to the gym, I lift weights. Like, you know, my parents helped me get my teeth fixed, and I started taking care of like my appearance. And, you know, I went to sober living. I got a job at Target working in the beauty department. And then I got my first job in treatment working as like an overnight monitor or whatever. And then I always knew that I wanted to work at Serenity House, but you had to wait like 2 years after you graduated. And so as soon as I hit the 2-year mark in 2023, I applied for peer support, and they offered me the SUD1 counseling position. And so I've been there for like a year and a half now, and I'm about to be an SUD2. I'm about to take the test this summer to become certified like a KDAC1, and I'm going to go on to get my bachelor's. Like, I talked with my mom about it yesterday. We're going to sign up for classes, and like, it doesn't even feel real. Like, this doesn't feel like my life, you know? And I have put in the fucking work. I've done the steps. I've been vulnerable. You know, I've taken suggestions. I've been humble. You know, I don't know everything, believe it or not. And, you know, we all like think we're special as addicts. And same goes with me. And I still struggle with the eating shit. I still struggle with food addiction. Like, none of these problems go away. You just like learn how to deal with them without using unhealthy behaviors, you know? So I do my best every day. Like, I'm kind to myself nowadays. Like, if I'm having a bad day, I'm just like, I don't let it spiral into fucking ruining my whole day and catastrophizing. Like, I've actually used some of the stuff I'm learning at school, like cognitive behavioral therapy, to like become aware of your thoughts turn into feelings, and feelings turn into behaviors. And so, you know, you really are like the master of your own mind. And if you want to have a positive, uplifting life, you know, you can do that. But we have a tendency to tell ourselves we're not good enough, or they don't like me, or, you know, or whatever. But I've really like taken a step in the 12-step community to advocate for people on MAT. I share about it at every meeting. And if there's some people in the crowd that have something to say about it, that's fine. But that shit saved my fucking life. Like, I was shooting heroin and fentanyl in my neck. And I shouldn't be alive. And I don't think I could have gotten clean without methadone. You know what I mean? So it's a tool. I think there's a lot of ways to get and stay sober. And it doesn't have to look like the next person's. You know, like, my recovery is unique. And God wanted it that way. And I really only care about God and like my sponsor, and their opinions, and everybody else's opinions can fuck off, you know?
Natalie would have said suck a dick.
Yeah. That's true. I would have.
Finally breathing. Anyways, like, thank you for having me back. Being on the Hopeaholics is the coolest part of my sobriety so far. Like, you know, being on the Chasing Heroin podcast with Janine, like, that was a God shot. I remember when I was like 30 days clean and I heard her share at a meeting and I asked her to be my temporary sponsor. I had just come home from Hawaii and she told me she had a podcast and stuff. And I went home and listened to an episode with my mom. I was still living with my parents. I'm like, that would be so cool. Like, if one day. And it was like, God, like my 2 years sober, something that she asked me to be a guest on her show. And, you know, it's like, I want to do the recovery thing. And, you know, I know a lot of people in addiction have maybe been trafficked sexually, and I want them to know not to be ashamed and that you can heal and there's nothing wrong with you and you're not damaged goods, and don't let anybody make you think that you are. But again, it's a daily practice. Some days I'm like, fuck yeah, I love my life and I love myself. And then other days I'm like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
So I just do the best I can.
I love it. Your story is amazing.
2 minutes.
No, you're fine.
You're good.
I totally remember your story.
Me
like,
too. It's wild. You guys can listen.
You
to
guys
her.
have
Yeah.
to listen to the full version because like she actually goes pretty deep into the sex trafficking. Into I was like, I'm hearing your story. I was just like, you know, you've come a long way, and you know, I've never in our entire time wrote something down because I didn't want to forget to say this one thing. And I want to say more than this one thing, but it's very important to me to say, to validate you about the judgmentalness of the 12-step program.
100%.
I've been judged a lot in the 12-step program. That's why we have this meeting. And look, I mean, people are going to do whatever they're going to do. I love the 12 steps. I truly do. You know, but there's old school of thought in the 12-step programs, and like people got to do whatever they have to do. It talks about in the AA book that you know, Bill says we only know just a little.
Yeah.
You know, and more is going to be revealed. And you know, if you can't change with the times, you're stuck in the past. And fentanyl is killing people at a rate of 300 people every single day. You know, and I got to experience that pain and live that pain. And because of that, something beautiful came out of it. And not only that, I relapsed as an owner of a treatment center and had to walk back in the rooms and got, you know, a lot of shit. And I just keep coming back because, you know, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks in the rooms. It only matters what your sponsor thinks and what God thinks.
Yep.
And the steps are the program is not the people in it. The program is the steps.
That's
I
right.
just always want to be really clear about that. And I like what you were talking about at the end, man. This whole deal, the Hopeaholics podcast is because there is life beyond recovery, and it really starts with God, with us in this room. But mindset is so important. And like what we tell ourselves and how we feed ourselves, you know, full mind, body, spirit. Because when we say that, we're talking about like the stuff we put in our mouth, the stuff we listen to, the stuff we look at. I mean, you can become whatever you want to become in sobriety. Like if we all start using this as a superpower, like we are a step ahead of everybody who's not sober. And when I say that, I'm talking about normies who go and have a glass of wine or a couple cocktails at night. When I wake up in the morning, I'm a step ahead of them. My mind's clearer. My life is I use it as an advantage. And don't get me wrong, I have days where my head tells me,
You're no good.
Like you're a fat ass.
Yeah.
Look at you,
Oh my
you're a
God,
piece
yeah.
of shit.
Yeah, of course.
I have all that same shit,
But we have tools.
but I just
that
don't
normies
believe it. And it's people like us that go to school, and we learn more about ourselves, right? Like how to better treat ourselves.
Yeah.
Like cognitive behavioral therapy is amazing. Challenge those negative thoughts. Challenge that thought. Is that true?
Right. But life and death
Prove
is in
it.
the power of the tongue. It's in the Bible.
Yeah.
So what you speak is
Is what you get.
yes.
God
So it's like
spoke us into existence. He made us
100%.
into in His own image and likeness. I'm spiritual, not religious.
Yeah.
Natalie,
I got kicked out of a church, so that's how we feel about that.
Natalie, I'm gonna steal what Natalie says because she said it to me the other day. We don't call ourselves Christians; we call ourselves followers of Christ.
Boom!
Oh,
Boom!
you need a shirt that says that.
Yeah,
It's because it goes
we,
hand in hand
we
with
don't
like
do the religion thing.
it's
We
because
do-
of how you feel like with AA, like we've been judged even going into the rooms, right? Because our stories are relapse stories, obviously different, where he relapsed owning a treatment center, but like you get the O's and the ha's and the he's when you walk into an AA meeting or an NA1, people want to like talk negatively about whatever it is, but it's like I look at it differently because you celebrate the ones that make it back into the rooms. You throw them a party and Jesus did. You go get that one, and it's like everyone's sobriety is different. Worry about your own personal sobriety. How somebody else does their journey is their journey, not yours. So what works for you might not be what works for them. So that's why your story is so powerful because there's somebody out there that is on MAT, and
there
then
was actually a ton in the comments.
and listening to someone like yourself share how you needed that to begin with, and look what happened. You were able to taper, and then you took the Sublocade shot, which is actually super. Like I've heard so many positive things about the Sublocade shot because people can't get off of Suboxone. So it's like, and then they also walk around like feeling like zombies on Suboxone. So Sublocade is a total amazing alternative, and you were able to go ahead, do your methadone, and then taper, and now you have the shot, and it's been a year.
Yeah.
And it's like, look what God can do, because
I
from
feel
where you
good,
came,
too.
from where you came from in your story, it's everything. This is exactly what this program is all about.
It was like trial and error though,
Sure.
I also recommend like stabilizing on medication, and if you have a mental health diagnosis, to find out what it is.
Sure.
And to, like for me, I tried every antidepressant you could think of. Like I tried Effexor and it like gave me rage, and this is in sobriety. I was
Yeah.
like screaming at drivers and like I went to the crisis unit that night because I was like so full of
wow.
rage. It was just crazy. So some meds like don't work. That's another thing people do when they get into recovery is
That's super good and important to talk about too, because
Yeah.
people think that they can pop a pill like something like that and all is well. It's like, no, that's not how it works, because our body chemistry and our brain, like how our neuroplasticity works, is very different amongst each individual. So how that's going to like the receptors of a certain medication might work well for him but won't work well for me,
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like really important to have those conversations, and you being so open and honest about your kind of story is like so powerful to somebody else, because they might not know that. They might think that they're on whatever, the one that you said you had to go into like you're in so much rage,
Yeah.
They might think they're just like losing their mind.
Yeah, well, since I've been diagnosed with complex PTSD, and that's probably
Sure.
the one that like haunts me
Sure.
the most. And then depression and anxiety. But I finally found meds that work for me. Like Wellbutrin works for me, and Boost Bar works for me. But it took trial and error, and I didn't give up. And that's just a tool. Like medication is just a tool in all of this. I really take care of my health, and like I try and eat good. I work out, like I lift weights. I try and get enough sleep.
Yep.
I do skincare every night.
Yep.
Like I really pour love into myself, and it's really beautiful. I recommend finding a group of, if you're a man, like a group of men. If you're a woman, a group of women to go on retreats with, go to meetings with.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the things I've done in my recovery that have helped me a lot, where I've had like major breakthroughs, are breath work. Like I actually paid for like 4 different breath work sessions. So powerful. I do yoga every Saturday. Love it. Recommend it. If you're looking for, like, you just did a fat shot of heroin, just take a good yoga class because it's like the most natural, best high ever. Meditating. But yeah, I don't know.
Beautiful.
I have a 4.0. Like
Look at
I'm
you.
smart. Like I don't know. It's crazy. Sometimes I'm just like, this can't be my life, but it is. And if I could see myself, homeless on the street, if I could see myself now, I'd be like, fuck yeah, God. Because I like who I am today, and I'm a counselor at Serenity House now. Cool.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention that.
Which is insane.
Oh, yeah, I did mention that. I don't know. But I'm proud of that.
You
I'm
should be.
proud because I went there twice, and it's a huge rehab, 60 to 80 women, and majority of them are straight from jail or CPS ordered. I work daily with probation officers and CWS workers. I help moms get their kids back. Like, I'm right in the thick of it, and I love it. It's challenging working in treatment, but, like, I'm a really good counselor, and for the most part, the women respect me, and I plan to further my career and become a social worker. Like, I want to get a bachelor's in social work and maybe even go on to get a master's, but
But you know why that's all happening too?
God.
Well, but also action. It wouldn't be happening if you weren't putting forth the actual doing the hard work that is required, because we can hope and wish and like be told to do these steps, but if we don't follow through, ain't gonna happen. So it's a testament of you obviously surrendering to a higher power, and then you actually putting in the work, because it's hard.
Yeah, keeping promises to yourself.
For
Like,
sure.
when you tell yourself you're going to go to the gym, like,
Go.
and you actually go, it feels good. Like, I trust myself, and I just want to spend my life helping women get sober and overcome their traumas, because most women have domestic violence and sexual abuse in their past. A lot of my clients were abused as kids, like sexually abused as kids. That never happened to me, but I can only imagine how that would start one's life off.
Sure.
And so, just learning yourself, knowing yourself, playing the tape forward is like the best one for me ever, because I know myself, and I'll go right from meth to heroin to fentanyl to needles to shooting in my neck. Like, my veins still haven't come back. So I'd lose my job. I'd go to the casino and lose all my money. And no, I'm good on that. Like, I like everything I have right now.
Totally.
And I don't want to lose any of it,
Good for you. Good for you. It's amazing.
All right, we got a couple hands raised, huh? I see Matt.
Matt.
We don't know if Chuck knows how to unmute you, but
We'll see.
he's learning. Just scroll right on over there.
There's Shane. I see Shane.
Oh, Shane is on there? Oh my God, my mom's on there too. My mom and dad.
Where's Shane?
Where's your mom?
Right there. She's under Frederick Nelson, my dad.
Shane.
Hi, Mom.
Shane.
I don't even see. Oh, Shane's right underneath my mom. Creepy.
Man, if you could see what's happening on the screen right
totally.
now, bro.
Shane, I need you to stop doing that. He's like trying to like grab my mom's butt. Get out of here.
Matt, scroll. Is Matt unmuted?
Is he unmuted?
I
Oh,
hear
wait, I hear
something.
him.
Hi, Matt.
Hi. Christina, super.
Oh, he's quiet.
I appreciate you sharing your story with us, man. It's definitely reminiscent of many things that I also went through. And although the IV part wasn't a big issue with me, and I didn't go through a lot of the abuse that you went through, but it was also just nonstop for me.
Thank you for the
It
feedback. Yeah.
didn't matter what happened to me. Like, it just didn't matter.
Right? Yeah, I can
It
relate to
didn't matter
that.
No matter what, I just kept going, kept going, and kept going. And just being able to finally have something click that I just had to stop.
Wow, glad you're here. Glad you're alive with us today.
Thank you, and I'm glad you are too, for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But at MAT and the judgment that I received from so many, and people telling me you're not sober, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody
Mhm.
said,
Yeah, for sure.
because MAT saved my life, period, point blank. I mean, of course, God did too. That's number one. but physically, MAT saved my life,
It's a great tool.
and I was able to taper down slowly but surely, and get myself off of it. And to be fully clean it's a whole new feeling,
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
and I love it. Life is amazing today in every aspect, and just to have a wonderful community around the Hopeaholics have been a godsend as well.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. And getting to come here and hear stories like this and everything, it's kind of a reminder of how bad it can get.
Hmm.
And I'll definitely be going over to look at your podcast on Janine's channel.
Oh, sweet. Thanks. I appreciate
Definitely.
that. Yeah, I'm on Everything is Major Christina 89
She's on ours too.
Okay.
with a CH, Major Christina 89.
Okay.
If you go to my
Got you.
link
I'll be
tree,
over
you'll
there.
see all the podcasts.
All right. I'll definitely be checking that out.
Cool. Thank
But,
you.
Make sure you watch the
Everybody,
Hopeaholics
man,
one
just-
first.
Yeah. Watching my
We-
episode
we-
on
Yeah,
there.
come on, Matt.
we love chasing
know, get us
heroin.
that view.
We love chasing
First.
heroin in Janine, but
We're biased.
Definitely. Hopeaholics first, above all.
yes, yes,
Right.
we're biased.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But just everybody, you got to know, man, that recovery is possible, man. Please, 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 please know that you can make it through anything.
That's right.
Please, and love everybody here, man. And this world is a better place with you in it.
We love you, Matt.
Facts.
Thank you.
Wait, I want to share something because this is crazy. So I just got a message from the house, the NEM house. So one of the clients there recognized you and started crying because they knew who you
What?
were and didn't think that you made it because they didn't see you
Really?
to where you are today.
Oh,
So,
man. I wonder
The
what it
fact
is.
that that's why it's important to recover out loud because you
Wow.
have somebody sitting in treatment right now that could be teetering and having a hard time and thinking that they might not be able to do it, and then they saw somebody that from back then, the person that you were talking about, to now they get to see the individual right here sitting in the seat and what they've done.
I would say that like my parents and my sister and sometimes other people close in my life don't understand why I do this.
Sure.
And that's fine too. Like, I just hope that I help someone. It's
Totally.
hard to get up here and be vulnerable and talk about all the fucked up
For
shit
sure.
that's happened to you. Clearly, I was like, I don't think I've ever like shaken and gotten, I was like almost about to cry.
Sure.
And I haven't gotten that in a minute, but that just means that there's like unreleased trauma that still needs to come out. Like stretching your body out and like doing yoga like can really help, the trauma come out from your hips. But anyways, I don't know. Life is so good. Like I'm pretty happy today, and I'm grateful as fuck.
Yeah, I mean too. I'm glad that I got that message, and I'm glad that they're watching right now because that's exactly why we recover out loud,
That's
so
pretty
people can
cool.
see.
Von Lewis.
Von Lewis. Well, you sounded like a radio guy. Well,
Me?
yeah, right there.
Oh, nice. I'm
Calm down.
practicing my radio voice.
How you guys doing?
Hi, Von.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Vaughn. I'm an addict alcoholic. Grateful to be here. Christina.
Hi.
Holy shit. That was incredible. Fun fact, I'm from Oahu. And the last time I was on the island, I was actually homeless in Chinatown.
Mm.
And when you talked about the darkness, that so many people don't understand the darkness that's on that island is you see such a darkness in it when you're homeless or when you're in such a bad spot, and it's an evil and it's so hard to escape from. So I'm really, really glad that you escaped that and that you're here today and that you were able to share your message and be so vulnerable. That was amazing.
Thank
you for
you.
that.
Thank you so much. It's a small world. That's crazy that you
It
were
is.
there too.
I used to sleep in Alawai Park.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. I know exactly what park you're talking
That's
about.
wild.
Yep. Right
That's
there.
wild.
Right
That
there
was
by
my
the
stomping
bridge. Right
Yeah.
by the bridge over into Waikiki. Yeah.
was right there exactly. I'd pull my sleeping bag out from the bushes and I'd just be right in there and hope to God some big Hawaiian all iced out didn't come and mess with me because
Right.
they had at least 200 pounds on me. But no, it's amazing that you're here, and that was awesome to hear your story. And definitely as well gonna check out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I feel so loved right now, and like I'm making a
But,
difference.
You are.
The last 24 hours has been such a struggle for me. I split my knuckle open to the bone last night when I was demoing out my kitchen, and I had to go to the hospital. And I refused all IVs, refused the pain medication, everything. And I'm proud of it, but it's just been fucking with me. So I'm just kind of not wanting to use, but just like on shaky ground. So that's why I'm glad you guys are here and heard some amazing stuff in your talk. So thank you, and that's all I got.
Well, thanks for sharing that part, because it's super important to admit when you're on shaky ground, because it takes the power out of it, and it also helps us to help you and help hold you accountable. So
And reach out to you.
Y'all heard him.
So love up on him.
Oh, now Natalie's really loud.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's our.
See, we have a substitute, guys.
Yeah, we have a substitute going on.
No worries, Chuck. We're just throwing you under the bus over here and running you over, and then backing up again. Joe B.
Joe B.
Joe Beasy.
In the place to be. What's going on, my man?
Girl counting days go in front of me because I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Oh, bye, Joe.
No, last time you went to the bathroom, porn showed up, dude. I'm not.
Right,
that's not happening again.
I'm gonna put my phone in here, all right?
Okay.
Let me go real quick.
All right.
Devon.
We need to make sure Devon is real.
She knows she's up in the house.
Okay. Hi, Devon.
Devon, yes, girl.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, girl. Oh, that made me hungry for a cook. Christina.
It's her.
Girl, I thought you died. Last time I was feeding you. Homeless in the house. I love you.
Dude,
The story.
where are you at?
I can't. But I'm.
I can't really hear.
She's at the house.
I'm hearing.
I can't hear her really.
Can you guys hear?
Oh no, she's cutting in and out.
You're cutting in and out a little bit.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My reception kind of shady, but I'm here in Cali. M's house. And
Is it
I just
cutting
wanted
in and
to
out?
love. I get on the fucking Zoom whenever that you guys were Zoom pure. We're listening to the house, and I just needed to say I love you, Christina. I really thought you died.
I almost did die. Follow me and hit me up so we can catch
I
up.
Definitely get a long run. Today we got 7, 8 days clear.
That a baby.
Hell yeah. Keep it up. Hit me up too and shoot me a message.
I will.
All right, girl.
We love you, Devon.
Take care.
Aloha.
Aloha.
How awesome is
That's
that?
a God
She's
shot.
in the Nem house right now.
That's a God shot right there.
Yeah, like even though she was cutting in and out, you got the gist of
I did.
what she was saying, and I love that she hopped on and just
That's crazy. A chick just recognized me from Hawaii.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Who's currently in treatment
Yeah.
at our facility?
We're both alive, girl. Let's do this.
It's like sick.
It's a God shot for sure.
sure.
I can like feel God in me right now.
Joe B, you there? Everything
Yeah,
okay now?
Yeah, I don't know. I got the bladder of a 2-year-old or an 82-year-old. I can't determine yet which one it is, but I'll keep you posted on that.
Okay.
There's an echo. I hear myself speaking.
We hear you clear.
All right, good. That's good. Christina. Very impressive. First 6 letters of your name says it all.
Right.
Yeah, I heard willingness. No matter what. That's what you did. You did, and Natalie said action. You did what it took. Don't let semantics discourage you. These, don't let someone do your own inventory for you. It is what it is. It happened to me too. I do NA steps, but I work the AA fellowship. No one's gonna stop me because it works for me. So whatever works for you. Plus, a lot of people don't understand. There's cross addiction now. A lot of people taking pills and drinking, and they don't go to AA because they don't feel like they're alcoholics. But NA sucks to them, so don't let none of that stuff get you. Just
So
keep
true.
doing what you're doing. Life is good. I'm over here blessing random babies. Like, that's how amazing my life is. I don't know what's going on, but something happened and it's beautiful.
Nice.
So keep coming, keep doing what you got to do. You don't have to be one of those statistics. You could be the positive statistic, because this shit really does work. I love you guys. Have a good night.
We love you, Joe.
Thank you.
My spiritual brother.
Where'd Shane go?
He was probably trying to.
Did he do that Irish? What is it called when?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Irish
I
exit?
feel super loud
Irish
now.
goodbye, I think
I
it's
feel
called.
very
I'm
loud.
Irish.
Are
My
you?
middle name is Aaron.
Shane does Irish goodbyes, where like he just disappears.
Or we could just say like they're rude. That works too.
Chuck Zamzow.
Chuck.
Wah. And
All right, what's going on, everybody?
Hi, Chuck.
Hello.
What's going on? I thought I recognized her face.
Oh yeah,
'cause
I've watched her on the
I've seen
podcast.
her podcast before.
Sweet.
Yeah, I really loved your share today. A lot of action. But the one thing that stuck out to me was the judgmental.
Mhm.
I really despise that. A drug is a drug is a drug. Somebody's coming in getting help. I'm responsible when they and reach the hand out and give them help. And I don't know how much more I can add tonight, guys, but that was the one thing that stuck out to me, and I just don't want to take somebody else's inventory, because when I do that, what am I not working on?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to remember that. So thanks for letting me share, guys. That's all I got.
We love you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
Wait, I have to shout out. I'm pretty sure that I saw that. I think Kathy and Matt are together today, which is like wild, because if you guys remember, yeah, they are.
Wait, is that brother and sister?
Yes. Don't you remember? Like, it was like super emotional that she was happy that he was on.
Yeah.
And then now I knew it. I love it. I love you guys.
I think it's
amazing.
important to say too, to like meet people where they're at.
Totally.
As a counselor that works, with people that are ordered to be there and
Sure.
don't want to be there.
Right.
And just like meeting them when they're at and not pressuring them. And, some people just need like someone to talk to,
Well, I think also too, everybody wants, like, we're all broken when we walk in here, and we obviously need love, right? But also, we've all done it. Everyone in this meeting, including us sitting here. It's like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So it's like you meet them halfway whenever they're ready. Because if
Yeah.
you force things down somebody's throat, it ain't going to stick. If they
Right.
don't want it,
Yeah.
And judging someone is like, a human should never judge another human.
My favorite quote is, "People who judge don't matter, and people who matter don't judge."
I like the glass stone thing.
Huh?
What's that one? The one like about basically
Don't
throwing
throw
rocks.
stones if you live in a glass house,
I like that one because it's like, bitch,
And
your
you-
whole thing is gonna shatter.
and you better watch. Now, how's that 50 Cent song go?
I don't know.
Something about a glass
Yeah,
jaw.
yeah,
you
yeah,
should
yeah,
watch
yeah,
your
yeah.
mouth. If you have a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth. That's how it goes.
That's how. Okay.
Right, Jesse?
Jesse.
I can't tell.
Yeah, Jesse.
There he is.
Sure, yeah.
Shirt or no shirt? That's exactly what I was wondering, Jesse. Shirt or no shirt?
No, he said sure.
Oh. No shirt? I can't tell, bro.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's wearing a shirt.
No shirt.
I don't think Jesse
Shirtless.
wears shirts.
This was for Shane, but where is he?
Oh, yeah.
Shane left early.
Shane left.
Oh,
My
well.
mom's here though. She'll be
Cool that your mom is here.
yeah, she's the best.
My mom's watching on
Yeah,
YouTube.
shout out to Penny too. Miss Penny.
Penny.
She's on here.
Well, what an amazing share, Christina. That was Thank you for being so vulnerable, for sticking with it when it got hard. Like talking about trauma is it's fucking hard. It's hard.
Sure.
Um, you make me want to share about mine. I haven't said this to anyone really except for close family. I was molested as a child. I think I might have shared it once in here, but trauma is fucking tough to get through. I've done a little bit of EMDR as well, and that shit helps a lot. And as far as the I don't know what they're called, Suboxone, whatever they're called.
Matt?
Um, I had to use Suboxone to get off. Like the fucking withdrawals, terrifying, terrifying.
Mm.
I was on Suboxone for a little while, and it like without that, I probably would have ended up relapsing over and over and over. So yeah, thank you for your share, and fuck whoever has judgment. You know, like it's already been shared. Like they're probably sick or not dealing with something that they're going through. So
I'm glad that you felt
just focus on the
inspired
positive.
by my share. That means a lot for sure. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank all of you guys.
Thanks, Jesse.
That's all I got. Much love, guys.
Kathy,
Yeah.
bring us on home.
She got me saying aloha now.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Hi. It might echo Kathy Alcoholic, but
Hi,
I
Kathy.
just wanted to show you guys the power of recovering out loud. I drove from Northern California to come down and visit family, and brother and I have been planning this for a week to get on here together.
Nice.
And I thank you so much for your story. I mean, I have so many yets, and yeah, I just want to congratulate you and thank you for having the courage. I mean, both my brother and I are just very emotional over your story, and I mean, if we didn't have Matt, you know, we wouldn't have you, and you're a valuable member of this community, and you have so many people to help, and we need you. So screw that shit. Nobody's walking your path, girl, and I'm proud of you. I'm sorry if it's echoing. We just wanted you guys to see us here
Yes.
together.
I
That's
love
my
that.
big brother.
Yes. I love that.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks, Kathy.
Love you.
We love you.
We love you.
And that's
Thank you.
Isn't that dope?
yeah.
I love that so much. I mean, I got sober because of my oldest brother, so I think that's why they stick out to me.
This is
'cause-
my favorite part about doing this is like the few times that I've done it live and then gotten feedback
Yeah.
after, and people are like, tell me I inspired them. Like I just am so full of gratitude that I'm able to reach people all over the United States probably with my story. So if I can do it, you can do it. You know.
Well, and also too, like we say it all the time, like on the podcast or even on here, you know, our secrets keep us sick. So like as much as like I get nervous too, anytime, so does Chad. Like as much as he doesn't want to say he does, but he does. Having to tell your own story is because it's scary, because you have people then could potentially judge you, right? But ultimately, really, the judgment comes from our higher power, and that's about it. Because everybody else's opinion doesn't really matter at the end of the day if we're doing the right, you know, next indicated step. And so it's like every time you share your story, you're healing just a little bit more.
I say that too. Every time I tell
It's
my
powerful.
story, I heal a little more.
And
it's not easy, you know, like, but it's worth it. Like the
For sure.
breakthroughs that you have in
For sure.
sobriety, like it's unreal. And to feel like pure happiness, dopamine is like,
Totally.
exhilarating.
It's a real deal.
It's like the feeling you have after the gym, like after yoga. It's like, man, this is a good high. Like, and there's no come down, and I don't need to like keep fiending for more.
Totally.
You know, I just, yeah, it's awesome.
Go to bed at a decent hour, you know?
Exercise.
The normal things.
Superpower.
Yeah, it is.
It's
yeah.
all this
beautiful.
is a superpower. Like it's tough. It's tough to walk through pain and it makes you a tougher human being, but it makes you more loving
Yes.
as well.
Compassionate.
You know, and compassionate
Yeah.
and kind. One of the things that, like they said, Mike Tyson and this other guy said on this podcast, you know, not everybody knows the violence that it took for you to become this gentle.
Oh, hello. Ooh.
That was
You
Drop
know?
some bars. I like that.
For real though, like
I like
you're,
that.
You're the real deal. You know, you're the real deal.
Say it again.
I said, not everybody knows the violence that it took for her to become this gentle.
That's a good one.
Mike Tyson and them said that about themselves.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you know, and I could say the same thing about myself. But you're the real deal. Like
Yeah, you're doing
I
it.
know another heroin addict that's very similar to you. He's from San Diego. Dude has a very similar story to yours. Leg cut open, septic. Mom was called to the hospital to make funeral arrangements, and he's 4 or 5 years sober today. Crazy.
Doing it.
I used to buy heroin from him. You know, like for real. So I'm proud of you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is the part of the meeting that
Chad lies.
well, here's the thing. Everybody loves it, and we
Chad
are
lies.
the only ones. And I'm about to turn my camera on, guys. So I need
It's been on.
all
I
of
don't know what
you.
you're talking about. Oh no, you
It's
actually
not my
didn't.
camera.
You're right. Oh, Donna's on. Hi, Donna. I love you, Donna.
Donna, turn your camera on because
Mom, my mom's camera's on.
Does this
we're
get
about
recorded?
to dance.
It does.
We are the only meeting in the history of
That's
the
what he
entire
thinks, guys.
universe that does dances out.
Okay.
Oh,
wait, Chuck,
right.
do you know how to
Chuck, do you know how to turn on the music?
You do? Oh, wow.
Oh, well, I was like worried.
I know.
All right,
Okay,
guys.
ready, guys?
Everybody, hands in the air, hands
It's a silly
in the
little
air.
thing.
I got into that.
God,
grant
me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen. See you
Keep
guys
coming back. It
next
works if you
week.
work it. Love you guys.
Sweet.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
guys.
much.
Follow me, Major
Yes.
Christina 89. Oh my.